Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mohammad Badruddin, and uh, as we know, I'm covering a series of Web Security Academy from the Portswigger, and today the lab is going to be from the authentication module, and this is going to be the lab number 6. And in the previous labs, we just solved the labs regarding authentication based on username and passwords only. So, but these days, because of the security concern, we see a lot of breaches, a lot of fake authentication, and the uh, broken flawed in the authentication mechanism. Uh, Hackers get into the system and they make brute force and they get the password, or they manage to bypass the authentication. So two-factor authentication is basically, uh, first of all, you will be offered by the application to verify your identity with the username and password. And once you give the correct username and password, then from the application side, they will send you some kind of verification code, maybe by SMS or by the Google service or on your email maybe. And you have to access your email if you are the valid user. So the phone number which you registered on the registration time, so you must have that phone number, so you will receive the message and you will give the code and you will be authenticated. And if you are the valid user, so you must have the email with you so you can access your verification code on your email. So once you enter that code, so application will understand, okay, this is the valid user. But even after two factor authentication, there are a lot of breaches. Uh, every day we got on the web applications and on other applications. So same like that, now we are going to face the two-factor authentications or multi-factor authentication feature, and we will see what kind of flaws are there. So, and we will see how we can bypass or how we can take advantage of those flaws or the broken flaws. Okay, so let's see. Before going to the lab, this warning as always for you. This video and its content are only for educational purpose, and I do not support any unethical or illegal act. That's been said, let's go to the lab. So this is 2FA, means two-factor authentication, simple bypass. This is going to be very simple. Before we faced this kind of vulnerabilities or the flaws in the authentication mechanism, because the developer side, from the developer side, from the backend side, on the controller, there is no validation. So we will see in a minute how it works. So this lab, two-factor authentication can be bypassed. You have already obtained a valid username and password, but do not have access to the user's two-factor authentication verification code. To solve the lab, access Carlos account. Fine. So we have one valid user account and we have one uh, victim user account. We have the credentials, okay, but we need, what we need to do, even if we have the username and password, we cannot log in, because if we provide the correct username and password, it will ask us for the OTP or the authentication code, and that authentication code we can only access by accessing his SMS or accessing his email. So let's see what we do here. So I'm going to the login page, and before going to uh, exploit that flaw, uh, I'm going to see the behavior of the application, what actually application or this feature is doing. So this is the username, credentials, and I logged in. Once I logged in, it redirects us to the uh, OTP page. Please enter the 4-digit security code. you are given here the email client. So this scenario, you can assume this scenario as real world scenario, where once you log in, the verification code will go to your email. Then you have to access your email. So they give you one email client. So once you click on this email client, you will go to your email where you will get the security code 1389. Fine. So if you write 1389, only then you can log in. Oh, incorrect security code. Why? 1383, sorry, 1383. So go back, and internal server error. So we need to log in again. 1383. Why? So 1383. Yeah, this is the code. Your security code is 1383. Or I think because we log in again, so we got the new code, right? Yeah, we got the new code every time when you log in. So come on, Wiener and Peter, and this time we must refresh this client, email client, and this is my authentication code. Copy this, paste it here, and log in, and we are logged in. Okay, so this is the process of login. So I'm gonna log out from here, and this time I'm going to try from the Carlos user. So let's say open the above sword. Okay, and I'm going to do it like this, and I'm gonna say Carlos, and the password is Montoya or Montayo, I don't know. Montoya. Okay, Monto Montoya. Enter, and we got here. This is the login to, and this is the post request. This is the post request, Carlos and Montoya. So because the authentication is correct, so it redirect us to the login to page. The method is get, and now we have to, what is that? We have to put here the 4-digit security code, right? But the problem here is if we go and go here, and instead of this login to, if we make my-account account, because when we check that process with the Wiener user, okay, so at that instant we see after passing the 4-digit security code, it redirects us to the user account page, and this was the path of user account page, my account. So without entering the security code, let's see if we can go or not. Enter, and we solve the lab, and this is very bad practice. No, so just logged out, and I also want to see one more thing. Go to the my account. So Carlos Montoya. Okay. Okay. For Carlos user, we do not have the email client, because if we have the email client, then no benefit for this lab. Okay. So for Carlos user, let's see. And yes, of course, because this email client is for Wiener user, not for Carlos user. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you understand what is the flaw. We just redirect redirect to the user account page without entering the security code. Fine. It means it is not checking whether user is entering the OTP or not. And few times when once I check the controllers or the code review, I go for the code review, I find 2 or 3 times this kind of problems in another features, not for this, but this is the same thing, the same problem. The best practice for this, I can say, uh, whenever the user log in with the right credentials, okay, so at that instant, an OTP must be generated, and that OTP must be saved somewhere in your database. And once the user enter that OTP, it should check that OTP from that database. Then only it will pass you to go to the account page. Okay, so think better and code better. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.